We're in a new era of uncertainty, I think, in these cross-border relations, and so that, I think, by definition means more volatility, a higher risk premium, which can be attached to Indian assets. And I think, the fall we saw yesterday is a legitimate response to developments as they've unfolded. I mean, I think it's important to emphasise that, this is a pretty considered and critically calibrated response by the Modi administration to the Uri attacks. I mean, I think this is best seen as a military jab rather than an all-out haymaker. But they're clearly trying to signal to Pakistan that these type of incursions, these type of attacks, just will not be tolerated, and critically that they're not going to be costless for Pakistan.
Absolutely. Nigel made a great point. India doesn't look cheap. Do we expect an aggressive re-rating anytime soon? What's going to be the catalyst for that?
No, I think that India very much is in a sweet spot in terms of its macroeconomic fundamentals. I mean, I think one thing to highlight that maybe some of the viewers haven't noticed is that we got the latest update from the World Economic Forum, their annual Global Competitiveness Index. And India's done very well in that. It actually moved up 16 places. It was the country that showed the biggest improvement. And I think this really speaks to the gradual progressive improvements in the business climate that have really been affected by the NDA administration over the last 2 years. India is standing out as really the fastest growing emerging market. And I think, slowing growth in China, I just think sharpens China's appeal to global investors. So I think, there's a lot of money still wanting to come into India, and I think that speaks to the very high, pretty almost frothy valuations we've been seeing on the equity market. So as the previous segment stressed, if we do get these type of risk events, the market will be prone to pull back. But I think, given India's pretty sound fundamentals, a big downdraft in stocks looks pretty unlikely at this stage.